Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Namaste. And isn't this always the most beautiful way to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we learn to see the divine within each other. And this is always how I greet everyone at the divine pineal gland activations, because at this time is about learning to stand in our own divine selves. And our great masters are here to help us to understand how we can join our divine selves and how we can become beautiful masters in the greater spaces of love consciousness. And that means that we must heal upon our plane. In order to reach those high states of being, of existence, we must learn to understand how to learn to love ourselves and how to learn to bring our higher thoughts into our thought processes so that we can learn to heal our life and become happy and learn to stand in our love together as one so that our power grows, so that we can bring change to the whole world, because that's the power of collective love consciousness. And when we become activated with the great Chiron, with the divine pineal gland activations, he allows us to grow into that love consciousness, to connect us into our ancient Lemurian light codes. And those codes are enormously strong, and for everyone who's activated, we are feeling the growth happening within us. So it's not just a fancy story anymore, or not a hopeful wish, it's what's happening. And it's so beautiful to be growing into that love. And it's a deep knowing that we have inside of us, a deep returning to a state of being, of what we were. So it's beautiful for us as activated people. So before I close my eyes and allow you to hear the Divine Master speaking tonight, I'm going to read out the forgiveness statement, which is always important for us to say every day. And at the divine pineal gland activations, people receive the forgiveness statement, and they are taught that it is very important to state it every day. And especially when you're activated, the forgiveness power becomes so great, and you can feel your whole lives just becoming healed with forgiveness. So it's just beautiful. So I'll read it out for you. I release all my pain. I let it flow in the light. In the great light, my angels will always take my pain away. Each time I forgive, I allow myself to become stronger. I forgive all the hurt others have given me. And here I will also forgive the pain I've caused myself. I let go of all that was to bring in the greatness and the light. For my divine self will always take care of me. I embrace the light, I embrace the love, I embrace who I am. Namaste. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, and it is always so great to be here with the people who desire growth in their life. Being with the people who desire the higher way of life is certainly a great thing in your life. I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, say it is a great thing, because there is nothing greater upon your earth than to search for the ones who desire greater truth and greater love within their hearts. Look, they are truly the blessed ones, the ones who have been searching for the great truth, and they are hearing the great divine Masters speaking now. Within their hearts they rejoice, and they say, how we have been yearning, great Lord, for your great return. We have been praying for many lifetimes to hear you speak once again to the people. We have been learning so much about what is, and we wanted to find that in this lifetime. We say as divine masters, happy is the one who finds the greater truth and who welcomes the great teachings. For it is then that greater peace can be found. For it is in the great peace that you will find the great love. And in the great love you find the great strength, the great wisdom, and who you truly are on the great levels of love. Happy is the one who hears these words and who feels within themselves that truth. For that truth is so deep, it is so beautiful. It is like a river flowing within, a rich river with no stopping it any longer. For this river becomes faster with knowledge and with love and with a great strength. And this is how that one who finds the greater truth will grow in their life with great strength and great truth and great love. It is the time for the greater gates to be opening now, so that more people can join in and sing with their louder voices, saying, we have found what we have been looking for so many lifetimes. Yes, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, I am going to rise. I am going to go to those most beautiful healing gates, the one that you have opened for us with a great iron at this time, to allow the pineal gland to be opening once again to the love stages, so that the greater thoughts of love and wisdom can come within you from your divine selves. And this is truly the time when the divine self can grow within the human being. And at this time, it isn't only about one who finds this higher path, but many millions will learn to celebrate it within. Once you have found the higher path of love, and you have joined your great self, there is no more to do upon your plane other than rejoicing in the great love, knowing that the great freedom has been found, and then the greater tasks can be set before you. Why am I stating this? Because your earth was always the greatest testing ground. It would be set for you to be in as a school, so that you would learn to appreciate your divine self once again, and you would go further then on other dimensions. Here upon this earth you can no longer go further once you have received the divine pineal gland activations, and the great love and peace has come within that person. Not at this time, it will not happen, but in the future there will be so many who will be joining the throngs, and they will certainly feel that divine self growing within them, and the wisdom and the love strength will become so great, so that the great number who become activated with a great gateway of Gairon will say, Lord, we are now ready to find out the greater talents, the greater gates that you have prepared for us. For our work upon this plane, the earth, has been completed. We feel it within ourselves. We know it. When is it that we can go to that next gateway upwards? For this to happen, the growth must become so steady within those who are activated. And so I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, together with the great Gairon, my great aligner, and also the great divine judge, will state this. Do your ultimate to become so great when you have become activated. For then the great growth can grow within you, and the great wisdom will flow within you. For the greater frequencies are going to rise within those who are activated and are desiring the greater growth happening. As at the next divine pineal gland activations, the activated ones will receive a flame of life creation from my being, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, meaning new life codes are coming within that one who is activated at that time, as these codes are held within your coding system, within your DNA codes, and must become so alive, so that it becomes prepared for the greater DNA flows to come within you, because you will rise as an ascended being upon this plane, and that will no longer take lifetimes and lifetimes. Once you become activated, this process will quicken up so much, so that the activated will say, look how beautiful it is. We are seeing ourselves growing. We hold no more pain and fear and anger within us. And now we feel the divine love flowing within us more. And whatever we desire for happens in our lives, because we are so strong within. We are now walking a path that is high, and we certainly understand what the divine path is that you spoke about so long ago, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. When my designated channel Jesus was upon the earth, there was a day when the people sat before him and they learned these higher ways, and Jesus spoke to them and said the following: There will be a day when the people will rejoice and they will look up at the heavens and say, we are the ones who are certainly blessed, for the light of the great divine Lord is shining upon our faces. We are seeing the divine way upwards. We are seeing the path upwards. There is no more fear within us. There is no more pain within us. We are constantly being guided, and we are truly happy in those flows. We no longer look behind us any longer. We are in true forgiveness of all that has been, and we are rising in the Great Spirit, for the Great Spirit has certainly joined our spirit, and we can truly say now that we are working in divine union with the Great One who has sent us here to this plane. And that very day that there are those who say that it is when the day will rise, that so many will see the divine light shining upon their faces, and they will see the difference between the human who is not working in the Great Spirit and the human who is, because they are so blessed and they see the divine light shining within their eyes. Behold, says Jesus, that day will come when the people will see the great difference of those ones who are working with the Great Spirit and of those who are not working with the Great Spirit. And those who are not working with the Great Spirit will say to the ones working with the Great Spirit, what is it that you are doing so much? And the ones who are working with the Great Spirit will say, we are working with a divine way of love, and the love is growing within us. And it is growing within us, and the more we allow it to grow within us, because we have gone to the mountain and received those great healings and saw the Great Spirit within us rising, the greater our love becomes within us, and the more strength that we have within us. And the more strength we have within us, the greater the Spirit can join us, and the greater the love force can come within us. And so it was in those days of Jesus that the people looked at Jesus and they said, when can we join the greater Spirit? Jesus, do we need to pass away to the realms you speak about before we can see the Great Spirit? And Jesus brought down the following words. It will be a day when the man on the earth will say, it is time to rise up. It is then in the bodily form that the great Lord will say, look, now there is no more reason for the human to be up on the earth plane, for now it is time to go to those higher spaces that I, the great Lord, have prepared for you. And the people would rise up to the greater spaces, and you will rise into the greater spaces of love, and you will say, gone are the times of the pain and the suffering, and now we stand in our rejoicing. And the people in those days, in the days of Jesus, did not fully understand what that meant. And they kept saying to Jesus, but when will that time be? And Jesus stated, it will be at the time when the people are ready to hear the words of the great Lord being spoken. It will be the time when the people will be able to stand in a greater forgiveness. So then the people stated to Jesus, what can we do then to bring this time to us? And Jesus stated, go and learn to forgive your brother more. Learn to forgive your sister more. Learn to forgive your neighbors. Do not hold any anger anymore. Instead, be in the love within yourself. And a beautiful man said to Jesus, how many times shall I forgive my brother, my sister, and my neighbor? And Jesus stated, there is no number Go and forgive so many times that you do not remember what number you are at. For at that time when you keep forgiving, it is truly that you become a master at forgiving. Why do you need to count the times of forgiveness? Because when you count the times of forgiveness, you believe that you are greater and holier than your neighbor and your sister and your brother, but that's not true forgiveness. The ones who stand in their true humility just keep forgiving because of their love within their hearts, not because they're expecting the great blessings to come from the great Father. For then how can you state that you are working in harmony with the great Father if you expect the great blessings to come because you've been counting the times you forgive and your brother and your sister and your neighbor? Go and do this from your heart. Go and stand in your great love. Never count how many times you forgive another, and go and forgive yourself more than anything. And then you will learn to bring the great Spirit of the great Lord within you greater. The more you forgive, the more you allow the great Lord and the great Spirit to come within you, so that you can stand in that divine union, so that you can stand in that greater union with the great Father, so that you can say, I am now working with the great Father within my heart. I have found the great Father within my heart. For the great Father in the heavens never holds anger, and the great Father never counts how many times he has forgiven you. He does not remember constantly the great Father is in the forgiveness because he has such a great love for you. Go and be like the great Father and stop being like the children, wanting the blessings and doing nothing for it. For the great Father wants you to be in the great love and to keep forgiving in the great love. Go and be in the harmony and go and learn to become like the Father. For the Father is always in the great love, and then the Father can truly bless you and bring you into the greater spaces when you understand that love from your heart. This love is non-expectant of the great blessings. That's the love the great Father is looking for. Look how many blessings you give to your people and your families, all because you expect the great blessings from the great Father to come to you. That's not working from the love. That's not working from the love from the great Father. The great Father wants you to work from the heart because you desire it. It is those very ones who will receive the great blessings because they know that the great Father is so of love. And when they know the great Father is so of love and they work with the love within their hearts, it is then that the great Father will open up the greater heart and will give it to that one, for that one is showing and truly experiencing the great love from the great Father. And the people in those days, 2,000 years ago, when they heard those very words in the same manner that I'm speaking to you at this time, stayed quiet. Imagine a whole lot of people in front of Jesus being quiet for a few moments. And a woman stood up in tears. Oh, great Lord, thank you for giving me so much forgiveness. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing that through. I know within my heart that I have been greatly forgiven for all the things I have done in my life. I'm so grateful to it. And Jesus stated the following: be like the woman that you see. Be like the woman. Be in the gratitude that the great Father keeps forgiving you. Do not take it for granted that the blessings of forgiveness are coming to you. Go and be in the gratitude each and every day. Open your heart in the gratitude. Be grateful. And then more blessings can come to you. Not because you expect greater blessings to come to you, but because the Great Father sees how you are so grateful and you really work from your heart. The people 2,000 years ago had trouble working from their heart, for they were always in the great judgment of each other. Hear the same lessons applying in your life. Go and learn these lessons and begin to practice them. And know that it is time for the great healings to be here upon your plane. So the teachings of 2,000 years ago still very apply to your time now. For all things are in existence always, and it is beautiful to have those ones who listen to these teachings and are saying at this time, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, how blessed we are to be living in these times. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings.